Death taxes and the Los Angeles Dodgers beating out the rest of the league on major trade packages because the Dodgers just acquired Tarik Skubal from the Detroit Tigers in exchange for Zaire Hope and, unfortunately, River Ryan and Brady Smith. But this is an absolute insane scenario that we didn't think was going to happen, but the Dodgers did make the big splash to get the two-time back-to-back Cy Young winner, Tarik Skubal. This is Deferred Collusion. It's me, Jesse Rowe, King Crespi, joined as always by Brandon Bollinger, Lord Paramount of Los Angeles, California. Brandon.
You know it.
Oh, my God. I mean, I have so much to say right now. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised, if that makes sense. I'm up in Canada. I'm on a nice little trip with my wife. You know, we're going up to visit some friends. We're visiting my father-in-law, and I'm up here talking to you. I knew this was going to happen. I brought my computer because I knew I was going to have to talk about potentially a big trade at the deadline. I didn't think it was actually going to happen, but I shouldn't be surprised because Andrew Friedman is the undisputed GOAT of free agents, of front office executives in baseball. Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
Jesse, I'm ecstatic. I was at today's game. I was there with my my toddler. It was hot as balls. I watched Yamamoto just give up solo bombs to Rafaela Sardonia. I don't even know how to say his name.
Cedon Rafaela.
Whatever, dude. I got to hear a bunch of obnoxious Boston fans all game, but it was a fun day because I'm stuck in that just quagmire of an exit that is the parking lot of Dodger Stadium at Uniqlo Field. And Jesse, I get a call from a certain podcast host, my boy, my POC, J-Rowe.
Jesse Passan.
And I'm in the fucking line just screaming at people. Yeah. We got Skubal. And you're seeing Boston fans even kind of like freak out. Like, holy shit. It was one of those moments in time. It was really special.
Yeah.
I'll never forget where I was, I got the nose.
Dude.
Jesse, the only thing I can tell you, I can remember where I was when Manny Ramirez got traded to the Dodgers. I was pulling into my first job at Gable House Bowl, RIP. And I remember being like, oh my God, like the Dodgers are big time now. Like we're for real trying to make a push. And it's just, we're light years away now. And
that's cute. Yeah, that's adorable.
We have the back-to-back AL Cy Young who just said, watch out, Yamamoto. I'm the ace in these here parts. Jesse, they're calling him the Great White Hope. And he's LA's finest, dude. There's a lot of excitement. We'll talk about it. Jess, let's get into it. I'm fired up. Tarik Skubal is the new ace of the Los Angeles Dodgers. There's a potential starting like five, I guess.
We've already got a controversy about who the ace of the Dodgers is right now.
Yama, Shohei, Snell, Robo, Glasnow. Dude, get on board, dork. Hiroki Sasaki.
Let's do a first take segment. Who's the ace of the Dodgers? Is it Tarik Skubal or is it Justin Robleski? Let's go.
Robo.
I want to, before we get into like how I feel about this and how this actually happened, I want to just like let Dodger fans in on the kind of picture that they're getting here. This guy has won back-to-back Cy Young awards with the Tigers in 2024. He led all of pitchers with 6.7 WAR. He had a 2.39 ERA in 192 innings with 228 Ks, 2.49 FIP, but a 2.39 ERA, 0.922 WHIP. Next year, 0.891 WHIP with, by the way, 174 ERA plus and 187 ERA plus in back-to-back seasons.
Crazy.
241 strikeouts in 195 innings last year. He led the league with a 2.21 ERA. Back-to-back Cy Youngs. And this year, he's not been as great as that, but he's still 2.79 ERA with a 0.91 WHIP, 154 ERA plus, 116 strikeouts in 96 innings. This guy is
Unreal.
an absolute beast. He is probably the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, there was a little bit of a battle between him and Paul Skeens for a little bit, but Paul Skeens, his velocity's been dipping, and he's not been as good this year. I think Skubal, along with guys like Mizurowski and Christopher Sanchez, he's right there. He is 1A, 1B, 1C, best pitcher in baseball, and he's added to the best team in baseball. Okay. Do we want to get into like the underlying stats here, or do you want me to get into like how I think this actually happened?
Jesse, I got to tell you,
Go ahead, do it.
I think that, after the last episode, we were putting our probability of this trade actually happening around 5%. So to say we're like surprised is an understatement, right? Like we knew this was a possibility, but I think as sports fans, right, we all have this, even if we never say it out loud, I think that we all have this shared belief that our organization is always trying to do the best they can to become as competitive as possible. This just proves that that's just not the case. And I'm not yet taking shots at any one ownership, but this package could have been beat. There are some smaller market teams that really could have done this trade and gotten it done, that really wouldn't have to break the bank, right? That's the thing, is that this isn't a money deal. This is a talent deal. And it just kind of shows that it's like, oh no, like controllable talent, I guess, is somehow more valuable than Tarik Skubal. And I don't get it. We'll get into it later. But Jesse, there are just some organizations that are just, I don't know, comfortable where they're at, making enough money, whatever, don't rock the boat. I'm a little grossed out. We'll get into it a little bit more as we look at the details of this trade. But yeah, it's crazy to me, and it is a good day to be a Dodger fan. And shouts out Andrew Friedman. I mean, shouts out Brandon Gomes. Just absolute we've talked about it. Build the statue now. They've earned it. Jesse, we have a real possibility here to do something that no National League team has ever done, and that's go 3 consecutive World Series championships. If Tarik Skubal doesn't give your team the best chance to do that, then there's nobody on the diamond in 2026 that is, that will.
That's what this trade is. It's the trade that gives the Dodgers the best chance of doing that. Like, there is no guarantee in the sport, and I'm sure a lot of fans are going to be rooting for this to fail, and I understand that. There's, like, I hated the Yankees in the late 90s, early 2000s. I understand it. The Dodgers rotation right now, I just want to, before I get into what I'm really feeling about this, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tarik Skubal, Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, probably Roki Sasaki, and Justin Robleski would be the 7 starting pitchers that the Dodgers could choose from.
They're calling them the 7 deadly sins in the streets, Jess.
I mean, that's the best starting rotation option
of all time
ever in the history of baseball. I don't care what you have to say. It just doesn't seem like it's plausible to deny that fact. So how did this happen? The Dodgers, everybody blames them. There's going to be a lot of tweets that you're going to see. There's going to be a lot of videos that you're going to see. And I pointed this out on a social media clip that I just posted a little bit on our Deferred Collusion social media accounts. You're going to see a lot of people saying that, this is an example that the Dodgers, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, that we're going to have a lockout, that we need a salary cap now. There was always going to be that argument, whether the Dodgers did that or not. The Dodgers were going to be blamed for all of the problems that the league has right now. So don't even listen to all of that. This was not a money thing, like Brandon mentioned. There is no money here that like is, yes, the Dodgers obviously are taking on Skubal's salary, but also Zaire Hope's salary is swapped as well. The Tigers are taking on the money owed to Zaire Hope. They're taking on the money owed to River Ryan. Like, this is not a thing where the Dodgers could just outbid everybody. They gave up Zaire Hope and River Ryan and Brady Smith. Zaire Hope, let's break this down, Brandon, because this is kind of insane when you really break down like the trade tree of where everybody came from. Zaire Hope came to the Dodgers for Michael Bush and who was an 11th round pick. Zaire Hope was an 11th round pick, and the Dodgers got him in the trade for Michael Bush, as well as Jackson Ferris, but they got Zaire Hope was part of that deal. The Dodgers got River Ryan, okay, an 11th round pick for Matt Beatty to the San Diego Padres. Matt Beatty, who was like a role player I love Matt Beatty.
Loved him.
Player. He was like a guy, we got him off of waivers.
He was a cheat code for a while, remember? As a pinch hitter?
River Ryan, dude. Yeah, well, he was great. I mean, yeah, he had a great debut.
Couple walk-offs.
But like, come on, let's be real. Like, Matt Beatty, he's not even in the fucking league anymore, dude.
No disrespect.
And the Dodgers got him. They got River Ryan out of that deal, and Brady Smith was also put into the deal. Okay. The Dodgers are better at flipping prospects than any other team. This is what Andrew Friedman does. You're telling me that the other teams can't do that? They can't turn 11th round picks into better prospects? That's because the Dodgers have more money than you do? No, it's not. It's because I genuinely think I could be going into conspiracy theory territory here. I don't think there was much of a market for Skubal. I think that there were some teams that wanted to get him, but I don't think they were going to be willing to offer him a lot. I think that some of these owners do want a lockout, and they do want a salary cap. Even the bigger teams, I think even the fucking Yankees want a lockout and a salary cap, because I think that they want to. The Yankees want to be able to compete with the Dodgers. They want to be able to spend $300 million a year, but they don't want the Dodgers to be able to spend $400 million. And so they're going to find a way to, how can we compete with them? How can we be at the top of the tax, but make it look like we're still doing everything that we can to compete with the Dodgers, who are just far and away better than the Yankees at this now? Let's not offer the best package possible for Skubal. Same with the Cubs, same with the Braves, same with the Phillies, same with all of these owners. I don't think that the market was as competitive as they're going to make it out to believe. And I think that there is a part of these owners that were okay with this happening, because you're going to see tons of videos just of people like, this is enough. The Dodgers are getting everything they want, but it's not a money thing. It's a prospect thing. They traded away guys they got for 11th round picks. And you're going to talk about money? They sabotaged this. I think that this was like, the Dodgers kind of stole this a little bit, but also you telling me nobody could have beaten that package, Brandon? Really?
There are a lot of teams, Jesse, that do not value, and I'm gonna sound a little crazy. There's a lot of teams that don't value the blue collar worker, and I'm talking about the scouts. I'm talking about the coaches. I'm talking about the weight room staff and the fucking trainers. And there's a lot of things on the margins that don't get invested in, that don't squeeze the player, that give them the most juice possible, right? We've talked about it ad nauseum that the Dodgers were cutting edge back in 2013 for putting all their minor league players on nutrition programs and getting these Edgertronic cameras. Right? It was, and then it was like, it was the technology thing, and then then it was the money thing, and now it's like kind of, no, man. It's like when you run your business with an intent. Right? The intent is to win, because winning helps you build the brand, and it reaffirms all the money you're investing, because everybody wants to be on board with a winner. That's why you have companies like Uniqlo that have spent an insane amount of money to just have their branding on Dodger Stadium, to say that it's Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, to have all these Asian brands now that want to be a part of it because of the Shohei Ohtani deal, that the way they deferred money and used their station, right, as this destination that hones the steel of the sword of this, these hyper competitive athletes, Jess, right? That they're not just giving them an opportunity to earn, but they're giving them the opportunity to just like become their dream, their ideal version of themselves. And that appeals to everybody on a human level. And now you're seeing all this actualization, right? The dominoes have just keep toppling, right? And it's not because, like, dude, I'm wearing a 2017 NLCS shirt, right? That was maybe the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Like, maybe the cheating scandal was enough to push this Dodgers organization to say, you know what? Well, if cheating is going to not get a championship taken away, well, maybe we're going to read the rule book and play every damn rule, like, to the T, right? And it's going to make some people pissed off because a lot of ownerships, a lot of ships just have dead men at the helm that are just happy to sit back and collect this cash flow that they're riding on.
Yeah, dude.
These have become stable, just like cash cows for, whatever investment they're going to do. I know Mark Walters is getting investigated for Ponzi schemes, basically. And that's my favorite team. But like we've said, Jess, you don't got to sign off on the actions of billionaire assholes, and you can still be a fan of their teams.
Yeah.
But this is just like, bro, it's despicable that this is the package that gets one of the greatest pitchers of a generation, even if it's just for half a season. But think
That's
about
what I was
it.
about to say.
Think about it. The Angels didn't do it, and they have egg on their face now, among a multitude of reasons. And,
for Shohei. Yeah,
for Shohei. And it's like, oh, well, imagine what they could have got.
Right.
If you would have said it was Zaire Hope, Brady Smith, and frickin' who am I forgetting? River Ryan, you'd have been like, that's it for Shohei? Dude, and we're sitting here saying the same thing with Tarik Skubal. Jesse, on the last pod, I was saying that it would take at least a big league talent of Justin Robleski's control,
I thought Emmett Sheehan was for sure gone, and
absolutely,
and I'm not saying that like I wouldn't have like preferred Sheehan had gotten traded because I do really like River Ryan, but like you mentioned, we're only getting him for like 3 months until assuming that the Dodgers have a deep playoff run here. This could potentially just be 2 months. So, It's insane to think that people would get mad about the Dodgers doing this and think that this is like a proof of that the game is broken. You're looking in the wrong place, dude.
Yeah, man.
About why this happened. It's not because the Dodgers could do this. It's because other teams aren't willing to do this. That's that really is it. You telling me that like the Mets. I mean, I know that they're a bad example right now because they're not gonna make, but they could have done this in the off season. He was available. Not that it got guaranteed he was available, but like there are teams out there with really good farm systems. The Mets are a bad example, but like really good farm systems that could have made big time offers. Like Zaire Hope, I like him, but like by all accounts, Edgardo Quintero has surpassed him in the Dodgers organization. They like Quintero more than they like Zaire Hope, who's had some defensive issues too. Like, they didn't even get the guy that the Dodgers like the most. I know that he's ranked higher, but Quintero, by all accounts, was already number one in the Dodgers system, according to the Dodgers.
Right.
They went off of like baseball prospectus or whatever, and got Hope. The Dodgers had this like logjam of outfielders. They knew what they were doing with it because they didn't have room for all of these guys. I mean, we might see right now, Brandon, I'm not joking, like in the next, this happened 2 days before the deadline. That's the proof that you need that there was not a fucking market as much as they wanted you to believe. Why did the Tigers not wait until like 2 minutes before the deadline to get as much as they could? Because not as many people were calling as they would have wanted you to believe, because the other owners let this shit happen, dude.
And that's what's driving me nuts. If this deal could get done 2 days in advance for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Why couldn't it have happened for the Milwaukee Brewers, who have, I believe, the number one ranked farm system in baseball? They're not a team who's got, a ton of big contracts. I think Christian Yelich is their biggest contract on file. I'm not saying you're going to re-sign Skubal, but it does give your fan base a little hope of like, hey, man, we got a real ace that could be, this huge developmental piece for our budding superstar in Jacob Mizorowski, and who knows what kind of, domino effect that has. Look no further than a Chase Utley's impact on a young Corey Seager. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, that has that kind of effect that, like, it helps define the DNA of a young player. Right? That's why, like, I'm a big fan of Dalton Rushing, and even though it's fiery, even though it's ugly sometimes, you're seeing this guy perform with now inarguably the most dynamic and accomplished, and should be on paper the best pitching staff of all time. And it's just like you're handling it. It's incredible. It goes back to my point earlier about just like, there are guys just doing superhuman things on the field, and we're so accustomed to it. I was watching I can't think of his name, but the Red Sox 8th inning guys throwing a casual 103. And just nobody's like in the crowd going like, holy shit. I'm like, are you not entertained? Like, it's unreal. But Jesse, there's just no way that we can pretend that all teams evaluate talent in the same way, and it yields different results. And there's a reason why teams are perennial bottom feeders, and baseball's not the lone sport where that happens.
Right.
I'm I don't even want to say a diehard Raiders fan because it's so embarrassing, but the Raiders haven't even been competitive, outside of 2 seasons in the last like 21 years. There's a salary cap, there's all this and that, but there's other organizations that are the same, that are perennial bottom dwellers, and it's because, hey man, winning's not the priority. It's keeping ownership fat and happy, pretty young thing on their arm. And,
Artie Moreno's comments about, Artie Moreno said that like his top priority is like fan safety or whatever.
The fuck is that?
I don't think that that's very much different than what like a lot of other owners believe, even though Moreno's not as like accustomed to winning, or he doesn't do enough to for team success. I don't think that that's much different than what like most of you would find from other owners. And one point I want to make is like, are the Dodgers better at developing players, so good at developing players that the Tigers would have accepted this versus other teams, or are the Dodgers just better at marketing players? Because, and I'm just looking at this from like the outside looking in. If you are one of these other teams, they all have farm systems that they have like these ranking systems, right? None of it means anything because you can't project anything. You can't project the success of any of these players, but the Dodgers seem to always get them when they want. It's a marketing thing. The Dodgers brand carries a lot of weight for some of these prospects that people seem to believe, this like Dodger magic will rub off in our system. That like a player like Zaire Hope carries more weight than another top prospect, right? Because it's a Dodger player. But by all accounts, if you look at the history of these trades, that's not how this works out. Like the players that they gave up to get Manny Machado in 2018, Dean Kramer just got moved by the Orioles. They were tired of him, and the main centerpiece of that deal, like, I haven't heard of him in a long time.
Hey, shouts out Connor Wong, still hanging on with the Boston Red Sox.
Like Keibert Ruiz catching, he's doing a decent job catching for the Nationals, but he's mid-tier catcher. He's not like doing anything great. This is the Dodgers just do this better, but it's not because of their money. It's because of their intelligence. And I don't know, man. One thing you just sent me in the chat, by the way, we do got to make a little note here. Go ahead, Brandon. You take that away.
Yeah, man. So I I think there's a little bit of cosmic timing on this. So today is the 10-year anniversary of one of the most lopsided trades in baseball history, but it was a Josh Fields for Yordan Alvarez. Yordan Alvarez, as we all know, has gone down to be one of the most prolific power hitters in baseball period. I was going to say the American League, but baseball period, and will maybe even get his number retired by the Astros. A core piece of those.
Or he's getting traded at the deadline because the Astros are out of contention. Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
Very, very possible because they are a. I don't want to say reputably run organization. Could you tell?
Yeah.
Because they're a bunch of cheaters. But neither here nor there. But it does feel important to note that this trade does get done a few days before, and it's got to go down as, the Friedman era's worst deal. It was impactful. There was no DH at the time, so I get it. There's no real room for Yordan on the team at that time. But Jess, you're telling me Friedman didn't just drop his nuts on the table on that anniversary to say, how you like me now? Build the fucking statue.
Build the statue. I don't think, I think that Friedman is at a point where he just believes so much in what they do that I don't think he's worried about another Yordan Alvarez trade happening. If one of these guys pans out, if the Tigers turn River Ryan into the next Justin Verlander, I don't think it's any sweat off of Andrew Friedman's back because I think he believes so much in how he's able to just move the ball forward. And
let me read you these pictures if I will. And
yeah.
I'm so sorry to interject, but I just want to why Friedman's the GOAT. This is the Avengers of pitchers, right? We got Yamamoto, Skubal, Ohtani, Snell, Glasnow. Move to the pen now. We have Sasaki, Robleski, Sheehan. The rest of the pen, Vesia, Tanner Scott, Edwin Diaz.
Honestly,
Jesse,
I got to say, the weakness is the offense. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm just going to say I think that's the greatest assortment of pitching ever assembled.
I don't see how there's really an argument to
on
that.
paper. On paper,
Yeah.
They got to go out and win the damn thing.
Also, Tanner Scott and Edwin Diaz closing it out in 8th and 9th inning. I mean, that has to be
Unreal.
The greatest assortment of pitching. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers aren't done. I got to wrap. I got to get out of here because I'm on a little vacay here, but they might not be done, dude. Because there was talks about Teo potentially be traded. I know that he's kind of come alive a little bit recently, but Kyle Tucker hasn't been holding up his end. There is a chance that the Dodgers. I think that the offense is the big question mark.
Yeah.
Even though they still have a great offense, but Shohei's knee, Mookie a little inconsistent, Teo up in trade talks, Tucker being a bit of a bust on his contract. There is room for the Dodgers to make another move if there's a bat out there, not like a Bo Bichette, because I don't think that they could fit him in, but
No.
there could be somebody out there. So don't be surprised if the Dodgers make a move for
Otto
a bat.
Lopez.
I mean, sure.
Nah, they got Tommy
340 batting
Tanks.
average.
They got
Yeah.
Tommy Tanks, dude. But
He's a
no,
sub.
I'm right there with you. This was just insane, and to think that there could be more feels a little gross, right? It feels a little selfish. But Jesse, this is just unreal. This is the greatest trade deadline of all time.
It's
and we've been
not our
talking about
fault.
this. No, it's not.
It's
dude.
not
We're
your
just a
fault,
couple-
Brandon. That's like Robin Williams and Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault, Will.
I'm about to cry.
It's everybody else's fault. There's no reason why only the Dodgers could have made this move. This is not a giant haul. It's just not.
No.
No matter how good River Ryan is, he's pitched 7 games in the big leagues, dude. Zaire Hope has not played a game.
Brady Smith, I just learned his name today. No disrespect.
Dude, you got to be fucking kidding me. There is no way that this is all they gave up. I know it seems like some people might think it's a lot. It's not. They turned 2 11th round picks into Tarik Skubal. Come on. Anyway. Yeah.
Unreal. This is just, hey man, it's cinema. This is either going to be the most dominant pitching staff of all time, or it's going to be like the miracle on ice for some team that knocks off the Dodgers on their way to a World Series run.
I saw a lot of comments. All this just to lose to the Diamondbacks and the NLDS.
We've come a long way since 2023, brother.
Yeah. Tarik Skubal is a Los Angeles Dodger, and I don't know when he's going to pitch, but it's unbelievable. He's only going to be there for a couple months, maybe longer. We'll see before the lockout happens, but enjoy it while you can, Dodger fans. This has been Deferred Collusion. It's me, Jesse Rowe, Keen Crosby, joined as always by Brandon Bullinger, Lord Paramount of Los Angeles, California, with an emergency episode reacting to the incredible news of Tarik Skubal going to the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'll be back. I will be out until next week, but unless any other big trades happen, then I'll hop on with you, Brandon. Otherwise, I love you, buddy, and I'll see you next time.
Love you, dude. Be safe up there in Canada. It's foreign territory up there, dude. They don't like us Dodger fans in Canada. But if you like us, and if you like what we're doing, please share it. Give us a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps us out. And as always, hit us up in the comments. Our favorite thing in the world is hearing from you. The informed, blue-collar, just savant, baseball genius. That's who you are watching us. And we love you.
And am I wrong? Did like the other owners let this happen? Am I
1,000%
tinfoil hat too strong? Let me know.
Dude, this is like a Zapruder film. We're going to come back and watch this over and over, back and to the left. This was an inside job.
I agree. Just like, up here in Canada, they're trying to turn us into the 51st state,
I hope you're over there spreading peace and love, brother.
I am.
Have you tried Canadian cannabis yet?
Yeah. Oh, well, let's talk about that off air, buddy.
What, dude? You're going down. All right, get him, guys.
All right, buddy. Peace.
Later, brother. Love you. Derek! We're getting